Vince Montero here, and in the last video I went over best practices for your budgets, and that's mainly when you're building the campaigns, what the best structures are so that you can allocate the budget effectively and optimize the campaigns effectively, which is one of the most important key elements of PPC campaigns. Is how do you optimize the keyword bids and such, but also how do you make sure that the budgets are aligned with your goals. In this video, I'm going to go over some automated ways that you can create some rules within Seller Central. So let's take a look. Okay, here in this account, I've already opened up the main page, and I just wanted to show where the budgets tab is here. Now again, this is just a quick way to glean which of your campaigns are maybe going out of budget at any given time. The default is the past 30 days, I believe, which is fine for this particular one because really you want to look at recent activity when you're trying to decide maybe what campaigns need some attention. So you also get the little alerts on the main page, just letting you know when a campaign is close to or out of budget. But you can do this proactively, which is what this new budgets beta tab is for. And Amazon's always going to tell you some campaigns that are not consistently in budget right at the top. So we see that this one for the past 30 days is only in budget 93% of the time. Now Amazon's going to give you a recommended budget here, and it's also going to estimate some potentially missed sales and missed impressions because you were out of budget, but I don't really pay attention to that as much as the performance of the particular campaign. Now this campaign you can see has a 46% ACoS, which is not very good, especially for this account, which historically has a very low ACoS. So I'm not going to take that recommended budget. If it was a low ACoS, maybe I would. But since this is a high ACoS campaign, I'm going to actually dive into that campaign and do some optimizations, which would trim the budget, and then it might be in budget 100% of the time. So this is really good for letting you know if any of your campaigns that actually do very well are running out of budget. In this particular example, all these other campaigns are 100% and they are well below 46% ACoS. So the automations that I wanted to share are actually within the campaigns as well as within portfolios. So why don't we look at portfolios first, because that is a budget rule that some people don't really know about, that you can actually say, Amazon, I only want to spend X amount of budget on this grouping of campaigns and not more than that. So let's say you did have really low ROAS campaigns in this account. Let's see, the lowest one is 4.57 for this grouping of campaigns. So a portfolio is simply a grouping of campaigns that you're kind of putting in a folder to kind of keep track of something in particular. In this example, all of the campaigns in this portfolio are basically the same product, which is a mountain bike rack. So for this grouping of campaigns, the past 30 days, 22% ACoS. Let's see if we can get something different for year to date. 21.83, so pretty consistently over 20%. But let's say your ACoS goal is much lower than that. You might want to create a budget rule by clicking on the modify. So you want to go ahead and click on this budget cap right here. You can change the name, but if you also set this, you can basically say either through a date range or reoccurring monthly, I only want this set or this group of campaigns in this portfolio to spend a certain amount. So this is really helpful, again, if you've got something that maybe is taking the majority of your budget, maybe you've got some new campaigns that you'd like the budget to go towards, you can maybe set these types of campaign budgets on other portfolios so that you do have extra budget towards maybe your new campaigns. So I'm not going to go ahead and do that. This is just an example, but I wanted you to see that there is a portfolio level budget. It's kind of hidden unless you click on modify portfolio, you don't really see it. So the other rule that you can do or create for budgets is really only on a campaign level. Now you can't use the budget rule to maybe optimize poor performing campaigns just yet anyways, but I like to look at this ruling for maybe campaigns that do quite well and maybe that spend quite a bit of money. So I'm just going to go ahead and look at the last 30 days so I can see, hey, what are my top performing campaigns in the last 30 days? And I'm going to consider top performing campaigns. I'm going to consider that sales. So I believe, yes, this is already sorted by sales. This one campaign is the top performer sales-wise, and it has a good ACoS actually as well, which is always good. So if you've got campaigns that do quite well, this is something that you might want to do and set up these budget rules, again, only at the campaign level. you click the budget rules in the left-hand side menu, and this is where you can actually set some things up to automate the rules for this one campaign. Now, this is a new setting from Amazon where you can actually layer up your budget rules. Before, it was only basically one budget rule at a time would be looked at when only the rule with the highest budget increase applied. So maybe you might see some ways or usages for actually adding multiple budget rules. In this example, I'm just going to go ahead and add one as an example. Now, again, this is really good for campaigns that do quite well because the only thing you can do is increase. You can't decrease. So this isn't really for optimizing down. This is only for optimizing up. So in order to use this, you want to use a rule name. You can see Prime Day is actually very relevant, and it's something that I've created rules for before, which is why this is pre-saved here. But Amazon will also let you know in the date range right here some upcoming recommended events. So from this recording, Juneteenth, which is the weekend of the 18th to the 20th, is the next maybe Amazon considers to be a high traffic weekend. So that is right here. So if you've got, a product that is very seasonal, maybe it's a Mother's Day type of gift. I know that that's just passed. Mother's Day used to be right here. So if you've got maybe a gift product, that might be something that you're going to take a look at and maybe add a rule. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave Prime Day again as an example here. And what you want to do is either choose between schedule or performance. So schedule for Prime Day would mean, hey, whatever the dates are, I would add the custom dates here for Prime Day. I just want to increase my budgets by X%, right? So let's say I wanted to choose 50%. So increase my budget's 50% on this particular date range that you're going to add here. Again, whatever is relevant to the rule. But the other cool thing that you can do is actually base it on performance. So you can let Amazon know based on these metrics right here how the campaign is performing to actually change the budgets then. So again, you can go by a recommended. Let's see if there's another option. Nope, that's the only option here. So you'd probably, if this doesn't apply to your product, you'd just select a date range. In this example, Prime Day or the holidays are another big traffic time, maybe the first couple of weeks of December. So whatever dates you want to use here, you would just say, if the ROAS is greater or equal to, or if the ACoS is greater or equal to, or the click-through rate or CVR, whatever metric you want to use. I'm going to click on ACoS just because I'm used to it more than ROAS still. So whenever the ACoS is, less than or equal to 20%, which would be, the goal for this one. So if it's equal to or less than 20%, then I'm going to want you to increase the budget by 50% for this one campaign through this time period. So those are effectively the ways that you can automate these rules within Amazon, both at a portfolio level, which again, I highly recommend if you're not using portfolios to kind of group products together or campaigns together by the product so that you can really track just how that one product is doing. And in this example, you can also then monitor and track the budget and maybe kind of, just cap the budget. You can't increase the budget at that level, but at the campaign level, then you can also then institute these budget rules to help you, again, just gain greater control over the campaigns and primarily just to make sure that you don't run out of budget during high traffic periods. So I'll keep an eye on this if Amazon ever adds the ability to decrease the budgets, which who knows might be coming. But if you like this video, subscribe and keep coming back for more.